Have you ever stopped yourself from starting something because it didn't feel good enough yet? You tell yourself, I'll begin when I'm ready. I'll post when it's perfect. I'll try when I'm confident enough. And without realizing it, days become weeks, weeks become months, and your dream quietly fades into the background, not because you weren't capable, but because you were waiting to be perfect. Perfectionism wears a mask. It looks like discipline. It looks like ambition, but underneath, it's just fear. Fear of being seen as not enough. It whispers, what if people laugh? What if I fail? What if this isn't good enough? And so you rewrite, re-edit, and replan endlessly, not realizing that perfection isn't progress, it's paralysis. Psychologists call it the perfectionism trap. It convinces you that if something isn't flawless, it isn't worth doing at all. But think about this. No masterpiece was ever born perfect. Michelangelo spent years carving mistakes out of stone. Writers rewrite their first drafts dozens of times. J.K. Rowling was rejected multiple times before Harry Potter was published. Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Even Michael Jordan said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots. I've lost almost 300 games. I've failed over and over. Even Steve Jobs said, real artists ship, because perfection never arrives. Only progress does. Here's the truth. You can't perfect something that doesn't exist. You can only improve it after you begin. The first step will be ugly. The first attempt will feel wrong. The first version will make you cringe later. But that's how every great story begins, with an imperfect start. Every master you admire today was once a beginner who dared to look foolish. Perfectionism kills dreams quietly, not by failure, but by delay. It convinces you that waiting is safer than trying. But waiting doesn't build skill. Waiting doesn't teach. Waiting doesn't create. Think about all the small, everyday moments, trying a new recipe and burning it, running a race and stumbling at the start, learning an instrument and hitting wrong notes over and over. Every small failure is actually a lesson. Every imperfect attempt is a step forward. Only action does. Only imperfect, messy, real action moves you closer to your goals. And here's the beautiful part. The more imperfect actions you take, the closer you get to excellence. Because growth isn't built in perfection. It's built in correction. So start, even if your hands shake, even if your voice cracks, even if it's messy, awkward, or uncertain. Because done is better than perfect. And progress, even slow, imperfect progress, will always beat endless planning. Every small step matters. Every small attempt builds courage. Every small action teaches a lesson. Perfectionism isn't a standard. It's a cage. And the moment you realize that, you can step out. Not to be flawless, but to be free. Because freedom comes when you stop performing for perfection and start living for growth. So don't wait for perfect. Create, fail, learn, repeat. Because the world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs a real one. And if you start today, even imperfectly, you will be amazed at how far you can rise. Quietly.